Welcome back to the News and Books Aviation podcast. I'm Eric, and today we're unpacking a tragic story out of Venezuela, a small twin-engine aircraft, a Piper PA-31T1 Cheyenne, that crashed shortly after takeoff from Paramillo Airport in San Cristóbal, killing both crew members on board. The footage that's been circulating online is both heartbreaking and alarming, showing the plane lifting off, struggling for altitude, and then plunging to the ground in a fiery crash. With me is Captain Danzel, an aviation safety expert and former turboprop pilot, to help us understand what might have gone wrong, and what this tragedy tells us about small aircraft operations in developing regions. Captain Danzel, before we get technical, could you walk us through what we know so far about the accident itself?
Sure, Eric. According to Venezuela's National Institute of Civil Aeronautics, INAC, the crash occurred around 9:52 a.m. local time during the takeoff phase from Paramillo Airport. The aircraft was a Piper PA-31T1 Cheyenne, registered YV1443, a light twin turboprop commonly used for regional transport and private charters. Eyewitness video shows it struggling to climb, banking slightly to the right, then rapidly losing altitude before impacting the ground. The plane caught fire immediately, and both occupants, believed to be the pilot and co-pilot, were killed on impact.
The Cheyenne series has been around for decades, a reliable design by Piper. What's its reputation like?
Yes, the Piper PA-31T1 Cheyenne dates back to the late 1970s. It's part of the larger Navajo Chieftain family, upgraded with turboprop engines for higher speed and altitude. It's generally considered a dependable workhorse, but like all older airframes, its safety heavily depends on maintenance, pilot proficiency, and local regulatory oversight. In Latin America, some operators fly older turboprops under challenging conditions, high altitudes, hot temperatures, and sometimes limited maintenance infrastructure. Those factors combined can make takeoff one of the riskiest moments.
So, Captain, what are the likely causes investigators will be looking into here?
The investigation, led by the JIAC, Venezuela's Civil Aviation Accident Investigation Board, will focus on three key areas. Engine performance. If one of the Pratt & Whitney PT6 engines lost power, especially on takeoff, the aircraft would be extremely difficult to control. Twin-engine turboprops require quick asymmetric handling to avoid a fatal yaw. Weight and balance. Overloading or improper weight distribution could make rotation unstable. Smaller aircraft are far less forgiving than commercial jets in this respect. Environmental and human factors, weather, airfield elevation, or pilot decision-making, for instance, whether takeoff speed was reached safely, can all play major roles. There's also talk online about a possible mechanical failure just after liftoff, but we'll need to wait for the final report before drawing conclusions.
And how do investigations like this unfold, especially in regions where resources are limited?
That's an important point. The NTSB in the U.S. often assists or advises when foreign crashes involve American-made aircraft, like Piper. They'll coordinate with the manufacturer and engine supplier to examine debris, flight control surfaces, and flight logs. Flight data recorders aren't mandatory for small planes, but investigators may analyze engine logs, air traffic control recordings, and witness videos, which in this case are already public. Ultimately, JIAC's findings could influence maintenance regulations, training requirements, or even airport safety protocols in Venezuela and neighboring countries.
It's easy to get caught up in the technical side, but 2 human lives were lost here.
Exactly. Every air crash, no matter how small, sends shockwaves through the aviation community. These were professionals, people with families, dedicated to saving others' time and lives through flight. Accidents like this remind us that aviation, even with all its technology, depends on discipline, maintenance, and respect for risk.
Well said, Captain. That's all for today's episode of News and Books Aviation. We'll keep following updates as investigators work to determine the cause of this tragedy in San Cristóbal. Our thoughts go out to the families and colleagues of the 2 crew members who lost their lives. If you found this discussion informative, please subscribe, leave a comment, and share your thoughts on how aviation safety can improve across the developing world. Until next time, stay safe, stay informed, and keep your eyes on the skies.